yeah, getting the cold plunge is good for you.
Well, like growing up, like it was more about muscle repair, inflammation reduction, and joint pain, for competition. So for football players, hockey players that were very compressive in nature from the combat sport. So now we're learning about the effects it has more on the regulation of dopamine and the hormones and the brain and mental clarity. And that's really the benefit. But now they're finding that in short intervals of time, going from extreme heat to extreme cold can increase your growth hormone by 16 times.
Yeah, I've done that since I was like 15 years old. Like contrast, you do hot, cold in certain time intervals. But I guess maybe it's almost like NASA and how NASA has like certain technology before everybody else gets it.
Correct.
Right. I feel like it's natural.
Or they didn't have application for it.
Yeah.
You were in a professional sport. You had access to the best of the best trainers, the best
So
innovation.
for me, it's like it's strange to see everybody like, oh, wait, cold plunge. I'm just like, you didn't know that it's good for you to get ice,
Or
or
now,
do something
or
hard.
the general
every single
public
day.
is just now learning about it.
Yeah, 100%.
And they're learning more about the brain and the relation to the brain
Yeah.
of motivation and discipline and the difference between.
100%. Yeah, you're right.
I have a bigger dilemma.
Okay, what is it?
So on January 31st is the media event for Tina Turner the musical. I think I want to go to that.
Ike is in the slap boxing.
The only problem,
Is it too soon? Is it too soon for the Ike Turner?
No, it's not too soon.
Could he be a slap boxer?
the only problem that I have is that's the new
So you're
night
just ignoring us.
of course, of the Tampa Bay Food Fight.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think Tina Turner's going to lose out.
She has to lose
So
out
Tina Turner losing out.
to the.
First of all, who is going to be Tina Turner?
I don't know.
That's what I want to know. I want to know who the actress is first, or the.
Probably Rihanna.
No.
I'll bet you it's spot on. I'll bet she's
I
good.
bet you it's not.
Oh, well, it's not going to be Tina Turner.
Obviously, but just passed away, hasn't she? Am I wrong?
We don't know.
I
Okay,
don't know.
neither of you are gonna know. But I was gonna say R.I.P. earlier, but if she's not passed away, I apologize.
Maybe she just doesn't know it
Her
yet.
family.
That's like who's the guitar player in the Rolling Stones?
Keith Richards.
Keith Richards. He died 6 years ago. Nobody told him yet, so he's still living.
Allegedly.
When we went to the Super Bowl, back when my favorite interview session was when they would bring the pregame and halftime, and we would interview him. And somebody asked him that. Is there any truth to when the world is ready to explode, all that's going to be left are cockroaches and you?
Wow.
That was a question. It sounded like I was hanging out with Matt.
Wow.
And all questions came to an end up. Because they have said that forever.
Yeah.
But to say that to him,
You called him a cockroach. That's crazy.
But I mean, you got to go to the food fight. I mean, the food fight is legendary.
And
Well-
you can always see,
are you still going to be? Are you still going to be here on the 29th or 30th? No.
28th is my checkout day, currently, and we'll see. I get a break in February, so I'll probably come back down and hang out a little bit while guys are on spring break. But yeah,
So you'll be gone by the 31st. So I guess we have a pair of tickets to give away.
Oh,
Well, they're your tickets, but if you're not going to be here,
Probably won't be, no.
probably means maybe.
yeah,
Yeah,
probably.
maybe. So you're saying there's a chance.
So you're saying there's a chance. If you're saying there's a chance, then I will hold on to them. Can you explain to me? Let's get back to football for a second. I think we got about 5 minutes.
Okay.
I did not watch the game. We're talking about the Miami Dolphins game.
Okay. I got lots to know about that, yeah.
How did the head coach think it was a first down when it was a fourth down and caused him not to get the play in time to then have a delay of game penalty?
I call cap. Cap is basically just like BS, right? I call BS. Mistakes happen. Like, how does a quarterback make the wrong read through an interception? How does an offensive lineman not know he has a assignment? It's a lapse of judgment,
But
and I think that's really all that happened. Tom Brady thought he had a concussion, right? That's really what it was against
About the down when he didn't know what down was.
yeah, and he spiked the ball or whatever it was. Like, those things happen. I don't read too much into it.
See, I read a lot into that, and again, I haven't been on the field. I've had plenty of concussions, but that could have cost the game.
You know what? I want to give Miami's head coach a huge shout out, and that whole team, because they're on a third-string quarterback,
Right, true.
a young guy, right? Who, again, middle-of-the-road guy. Like, I don't know him personally. I don't want to, down him or anything. I try to be respectful, but like, they shouldn't have been in that situation to even be close. in that situation because we've seen their record with Tua and without Tua, and I have my reservations about Tua. I don't think he is the guy that's going to put you in a Super Bowl position, right? The biggest takeaway from that Miami Bills game was Josh Allen is modern day Brett Favre, and Brian Dable made this guy look like an MVP elite quarterback, and without Brian Dable, he is a turnover machine.
All right, another question before we get to the top of the hour. You may not have enough time to answer this. Do you, as a player, you're not going to say anything against the best player on your team.
Yes.
I understand that. But when I did throw it on towards the end of the game and Bosa takes his helmet off, which causes the penalty, they would not have gone for 2, Jacksonville. They would have gone for 1. Could have. Now, one play never cost the game.
No.
I get that.
Yeah.
But try to defend Bosa for that.
It's an emotional game.
But can it be? But can it be?
It is. Like, it is. Like, you're a playoff game, a player like him, he didn't get held on that play. I need to say that. He won the rep outright, right? And he got grabbed a little bit. It's not a holding call. But he's emotional. And they can see the game slipping from their fingertips, right? So he made an emotional thing. Obviously, the refs, you know how I feel about refs. I think refs should be held as accountable as coaches and players.
Absolutely.
And they should do interviews afterwards and have to defend the calls that they made, right? But, yeah, like, he was wrong in the situation. And I'm a player, and I can say he was wrong. Like, he smashed his helmet. You know it's a penalty. If you take your helmet off, Stephon Diggs took a helmet off after the Minnesota Miracle.
Right.
But the game was over, right? Another player from this season, from the Panthers, took his helmet off. It was 15 yards. They ended up losing the game, right? Because they missed a field goal, right? So those things happen, and you know what the rules are, so follow the rules. But it's an emotional game, and those things happen.
I mean, I get it's emotional. I mean, I get it. But that could have, we don't know if it did. But it could have. It would have been a tie, not a loss yet. And Homeboy wouldn't be out $1.4 million.
I have my thoughts about that game, right? I think that their offense was stale the whole game. You see 27 points in the first half, and you're thinking, oh, they did so well. It was 5 turnovers.
Right.
They got short fields the whole time. Their offense never really moved the ball. With all that talent, with that star as a quarterback, because he's a star, right? He's really, really talented. He can make all the throws, right? So there's a lot of blame to go around for that game, and it's not on Joey Bosa, and it's not on that defense. If you give me 5 turnovers and a 27-point lead, I expect to win every single game. The same way when I was at the Bucs and I said, hey, we scored 40 points, we shouldn't lose a football game. That's how I think as an offense. So the defense think the same way, right? They couldn't get stops in the second half, but I shouldn't be on the field that many times in the second half.
No, for sure.
So,
all right, top of the hour. Let's hit this break. We're going to try the UFC one more time. Then we need to discuss Baltimore and what's going on there. You've got more to talk about Miami. Still more Buccaneer talk. Some free agents that we need to talk about. Not free agents till March, but we'll talk about that and a whole lot more in the second hour. This is Knockout Radio, brought to you by 8 Man Strong and Staff Zone.